And I just want to start by reminding you all of a few things just to set the tone for this discussion. When I became mayor on January 2nd, 2018, Councilmember Westmoreland, you expressed concerns about our relationship with APS. One of the first things I did was to begin transferring deeds to APS because I heard you. Councilmember Faroki, Councilmember Archibong, you expressed concerns about the closure of the East Side TAD. Our team has been working day in and day out to address those concerns, and we have said we are not closing the East Side TAD. Councilmember Hillis, you expressed concerns about Bolton Road. That project, that demolition, had been waiting for almost a decade. We tore it down last week. Councilmember Shepherd, you've had concerns about Fort Mack, and our team is working with you on Fort Mack. So the fact that this conversation has taken the tone and the turn that it has taken today is quite frankly amazing to me. Because from my seat as mayor, not once have I turned a deaf ear to any of your concerns or any of your projects. When we negotiated this deal on the Gulch, we did it in the spirit that terms have always been negotiated. They are negotiated from the administration, and then they are brought to the council for approval. I negotiated in the spirit of a council member, $28 million for an affordable housing trust fund. One of our number one discussions has been about affordable housing. We have a trust fund. We don't have all of the details on how it will be overseen, but the important part is that we have the commitment. We have an opportunity to work out those details with your input. $2 million towards vocational training with Atlanta Public Schools. $12 million, that's $1 million per district for an economic development fund. I don't know what else you could ask for in this deal. What I ask you to do today, if you cannot pass this today, if you still have concerns about it, pass it without a recommendation. Give us an opportunity to address your concerns. To hold this in committee will put into jeopardy a corporate relocation from another state where this other state has already become very aggressive because the discussions of the relocation, it is now in jeopardy. You have until Monday to have your questions answered. If you don't have them answered by Monday, we can continue to hold it in the breast of council. But I ask that you pass this out of this committee today and that you not belabor this with questions that cannot be answered today, but we will certainly work with you, as I have since January 2nd, to answer whatever questions and concerns that you have.
Thank you very much for coming, Mayor, and I'm sorry that you're not feeling well. That was very, very passionate, and I know that you care deeply about the city and this deal. The challenge that I have is nobody wants to see an opportunity for a new employee to come to the city be lost. Yet I'm challenged on this side, and I know that you remember being a council person, and I trust your judgment in that, and I deeply respect your commitment to the least of these and to affordable housing and the jobs and all of that. But the negotiations that have happened ought to leave space for us to deliberate, and it feels a little bit like a squeeze. And that's the part that I feel responsibility for. Things that relate to a TAD stay within this committee. It's not necessarily one that we want to kick over to finance exec. We want to do our own due diligence. And I've said several times before you got here, I don't want to feel badly because I want to do my job well. And that's sort of how I feel right now, that I have a chance to either feel badly or do my job, and I don't like those options. And it's not a no, it's a not right now. And I think corporations should understand that this is a deliberative body and we have work to do. We're not saying no. Hello, in this universe, we are not saying no. We're saying we need a little more time. So that's all I wanted to say.
What I asked Councilmember Archibong is you have the ability to pass it without a recommendation onto full council. If it is your inclination, if you are still uncertain, give us an opportunity to answer the remaining questions you have about the TAD by Monday. And if those questions are not answered, and if you still need more time on Monday, give us an opportunity to address those at full council or before full council. I sat in your seat, and I know what you have the ability to do. And I would not be here feeling the way that I do today, asking for you all to pass this on at the very least without recommendation, if it were not important, if it would not put this corporate relocation in jeopardy.
Let me ask you a question. I know Ms. Shepherd has indicated she wants to speak. As I've gone through some of the pages in this voluminous document, and I want to thank your team for giving us a lot of information. Sometimes we don't have any, and we've got a lot. Is there room for input and change based upon things that the council would like to see? I've talked about the level of affordability. I've talked about the amount of the affordability. Joyce had Ms. Shepherd had some concerns around employment. Is this the done deal, or is there space for us to weigh in and have our own fingerprints on?
There's certainly space for you to give your input. We have not signed a deal. This was our best negotiation. This was our best negotiation to get this document to you on Friday, because I shared with the team the frustration that we did not have information to pass on to give ample time so we weren't running up against today. So this is what we best negotiated. I am sure that the people from CIM, and I know some of their representatives are in the room, are listening to your concerns. So, and I can also tell you, you all passed I believe it was last council meeting, you received a gift, maybe I'm using the wrong term, from the Blank Foundation services to also help review the terms of the community benefits piece because of their extensive involvement with the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So this was not only our best effort, this also received a second set of eyes, and it also, we fully expected to receive 16 additional sets of eyes from City Council. So if there are terms that are unsettling to you, that you would like for us to address, if you'd like for us to give us an opportunity over the next week to hash out more details and provide more information on this trust fund, which, by the way, we have checked across the country. If there is one comparable, I haven't found it yet. We looked at 2 deals that had been done in other cities to pull out what the best incentives have been that cities have received on deals of this magnitude, and we crafted what we thought would be appropriate for the city of Atlanta. The $2 million ask on the vocational training piece was a personal ask of mine because of the importance to Atlanta Public Schools, because of a project we've been working on with ACP on vocational training, along with many of our other partners that you all will be ecstatic to learn more about over the next month. And they agreed. So I gave it my best effort. Our team gave it our best effort, and I am sure with all of your expertise, there may be something that we miss, but we welcome the conversation. I began by pointing out conversations I've had with each of you all over the last 9 months, and not a single time have I turned a deaf ear. So to think that I would turn a deaf ear to your concerns and your input at this point is not based upon anything. So I just ask, if you can't pass it without send it out of committee without a recommendation so we can get it to full council. That gives us another 6 days to answer additional concerns. If they have not been addressed by the time you get to full council, then we'll have an opportunity to hold it at council or send it back if that's appropriate.
Thanks. Ms. Shepherd?